The video begins with a serene view of rural Jamaica, a lush green landscape, waves crashing on the shore and distant mountains. The camera pans to John O.C. Woogum sitting in a peaceful setting, ready to share his story. Today, we embark on a remarkable journey. The story of John O.C. Woogum, born in Jamaica, raised in turmoil, but ultimately guided by spiritual forces beyond this world.
How did I get involved in the spiritual world? It began at an early age, in a time when I was living in the Western Hemisphere of Jamaica. I did a bit of schooling there, but I was out of control. I was unruly and rebellious, getting into trouble constantly. One of the worst things I used to do was sneak out of bed without my parents knowing. I would walk miles with my friends and we'd call people offensive names, names that could get you killed back in those days. It was dangerous, but as kids, we found fun in it. My parents pretended not to believe me. They said it was because I was smoking ganja. They beat me again, but during that beating, something strange happened. I started speaking in tongues. My parents stopped immediately, astonished by what they were witnessing. After that, I was sent to live with my stepbrother in Kingston. He had heard how disrespectful and bad I was, but when he looked at me, he saw something different. He took me to a spiritual reader who told him that I was gifted. Behind my brothers and tutors' back, I kept visiting police and soldier recruitment centers, but I was always turned away. I was too young. I kept trying though. Hi. One day, my tutor came to me and said, "You've been going to that place so many times without telling me or your brother. Now is the time. Go and make sure you tell your brother." I went and a miracle happened. I was accepted into the police force. I was trained and I graduated. I was stationed at the same place where I had trained, a rough station that felt like a military camp. A girl that I had met at club. One night while she was dancing, something strange happened. A loud sound echoed through the club, followed by a sweet smell, and then a big bang. Suddenly, she collapsed onto the floor. My team ran for cover, thinking it was a ghost attack, but I knew it was a spiritual encounter. I went to her aid, took her hand, and addressed the spirits. I received a message for her, which I later delivered. Days later, the dancer told me she was going to get baptized. I told the team, and we all attended her baptism. She started going to church, and soon enough, I was baptized too.
Though my fellow cops stopped going to church, I kept attending. The dancer, who was now a bishop at her church, invited me to her ordination. She was leading her own church by then.
I was also a healer at a church where two healers was also there. This was causing a problem, so they decided to give us separate days to conduct our healing services. Even then, many waited for my day to come. Months later, the bishop asked me to lead a Thanksgiving ceremony and prepare the table. I wasn't sure how to do it, so I sought guidance from Bishop J, the previous go-go dancer that I rescued in the club when she was knocked to the ground. The bishop at the church that I asking her for help for. that told the bishop that I am an Obeah man, he should dismiss me, and warned others that I was dangerous. Shortly after he passed away, that was the time I established my own church. My church was going on happily, and a lot people becomes members, and miracle frequently happening, and it was a joyful, peace, blessing, and everything that is graceful speak of. Few people misunderstood what was happening at the church, reporting that gunmen were gathering. Community police arrived not to investigate, but to extort money. They took money I had saved for the church building fund and left with a list of names of people who had reported me. I forgave them as they didn't know that many of the men there were off-duty cops and church members. The extortion cops were later reported and action was taken against them. I want to give thanks to all those who stood by me: Deacon Bigger, Deacon Lucan, Deacon Bobby, Deacon Fordy, Deacon and Bands, Major Seta, Missionary Auntie, Evangelist Carmen Harvey, Evangelist Claudette, and blessings to all the cops and others. May God bless and keep you all and give you all extended peace.